shot. Diving play by Ozzie. Long throw, you wouldn't believe it.
Quisenberry sends him home unhappy.
Ozzie stealing. The pitch swung on. Base hit. Here comes Ozzie. It's a winner.
Strike three call. Saberhagen not only wins his 20th, but he puts the Kansas City Royals back into a dead even tie with the Angels in the Western Division of the American League.
It's gone. Tommy Herr hits a two-run homer. The Cardinals pull off another miracle.
Swing, and the ball hit off the glove into center field. Sheridan comes in to score, and the Royals have won the West.
And they've won the Eastern Division and head into the playoff.
Hit to left center. Back goes Mosby, along with Bell. Forget it. Home run Brett.
Smith corks one into right down the line. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
And this may do it for the Royals. For the second time in their history, they're on their way to the World Series.
Swinging a long one into left field. Adios, goodbye, and maybe that's a winner. And they may go to the World Series on that one, folks.
The quest for baseball's most glittering prize. After a thrilling year, it all comes down to the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals on the road to royalty, the 1985 World Series. The 82nd World Series is a meeting of two intrastate rivals, the Royals of Kansas City and the Cardinals of St. Louis, and no Missouri compromise is in the offing. Two cities separated by 250 miles, now joined together in the October spotlight. Game one at Royal Stadium, home of the American League champions. And first ball honors go to Mr. and Mrs. Ewing Kaufman of the Royals. Mr. and Mrs. K throw strikes, and the 1985 World Series is moments away. After managers Whitey Herzog of the Cards and Dick Hauser of the Royals take care of the formalities, Kansas City starter Danny Jackson prepares to take on St. Louis. This night, he's opposed by 21-game winner John Tudor, the Cards ace. And it's actually Tudor who faces the quickest test, with Jim Sundberg on second, Darryl Motley on first, and one out in the second inning, as the Royals look to their next hitter, free-swinging Steve Balboni. Coming around to score the first run of the series is Sundberg, much to the delight of the sellout crowd of nearly 42,000. The Royals now have runners at the corners, and the Cardinals are aware that Kansas City will be trying to score any way it can with the eighth man, light-hitting Buddy Biancalana at the plate. The suicide squeeze is missed, and Darryl Motley is as good as dead in the rundown. Coming out of the second inning with just one run, the Royals find themselves tied by the Cardinals in the third. And in the fourth, Tito Landrum stands in. Landrum has been standing in ever since the fourth game of the league championships, when an accident with a mechanized tarpaulin injured the knee of Vince Coleman, the rookie who stole 110 bases. But as Whitey Herzog knows, Landrum can be counted on.
Our ball club wouldn't be here without Tito Landrum. We platoon with Andy Van Slyke, and every time we put him into a clutch situation or somebody gets hurt, he seems to respond. That's the kind of guy you want on your ball club.
Another kind of guy you want is a proven, versatile veteran such as Cesar Cedeno, who came to the Redbirds in August in a trade with Cincinnati, and now finds himself in the World Series after 15 seasons in the big leagues. Landrum scoots home easily, putting the Cardinals ahead 2-1. A very slender lead indeed, and one that quickly seems in jeopardy in the home half of the inning. On third base is Jim Sundberg following his second hit. And at the plate is a man who has driven in his team's only run of the evening, Steve Balboni. But keep your eye on this man, third baseman Terry Pendleton, who knows how to make the tough look easy.
Just really was a pop-up over third base side. I just reacted. I just tried to throw the ball as straight to Darryl as possible. It surprised me that the ball went all the way. I thought I was going to bounce it a couple of times, to be honest with you.
An inning-ending double play, and quite honestly, the end of one of Kansas City's better scoring chances as one inning yields to another. In the top of the ninth, the Cardinals add an insurance run and then look to rookie reliever Todd Worrell to finish up. The Cardinals win it 3-1, marking the fourth consecutive year the visiting team has won the series opener. And in the first lap of this I-70 World Series, St. Louis has motored to an early lead. Game 2, and the Royals would like to get rolling behind Charlie Leibrandt, coming off a 17-win season. And in the early innings, Leibrandt and a strong defense are in control. Showing no effects from a tough defeat in Game 4 of the championship series, Leibrandt allows only one base runner through the first 3 innings. Equally effective is his counterpart, Danny Cox, who won 18 games in his first full year. With both pitchers working well, the game moves quickly into the bottom of the fourth as the Royals look for a little stick. And they need look no further than steady George Brett, a .340 hitter in 5 postseason series. Now, with nobody out, Cox has Willie Wilson on base, but not for long. Coming all the way around, Wilson puts the Royals ahead 1-0 thanks to a double by Brett. Next, Frank White. At 35, he's the oldest player on the field, but his swing is still young. And with another run in, Kansas City goes up 2-0. Scoring runs has not come easily for the Royals in '85. They were next to last in the league, so when they have an opportunity, the Royals will take a chance, as they did in the 7th inning with Bianca Lana on second and former Cardinal Lonnie Smith at bat. Landrum fires a strike. Catcher Darryl Porter makes the play, and the Royals come up short this time. Nevertheless, that 2-run lead still looks good with Leibrandt working on a shutout as Willie McGee leads off the 9th. Down the line means a certain double for the fleet-footed batting champion of the National League. After 2 quick outs, up comes playoff hero Jack Clark, who proved then how dangerous it is to pitch to him with an open base. Leibrandt takes the count to 3-0, but Clark has the green light. On the hit, the Cardinals draw to within a run. Due up next is Tito Landrum, with right-hander Dan Quisenberry warming up in the bullpen, but Dick Hauser elects to stay with his starter.
Charlie wasn't losing his stuff. His stuff was good and his control was good. Gary Blaylock and I both agreed it was his game to win or lose.
Carefully guarding the 1-run lead, Leibrandt looks to finish against a man who's already had 3 hits in 7 series at-bats, Tito Landrum.
Leibrandt had pitched very well all night, and when he got 2 strikes, I'm just trying to make contact, get the ball in play.
Landrum does precisely that, and his opposite field 2-base hit has the Redbirds rocking.
Boy, you should have seen the dugout start to vibrate. We just felt something was in the cards, and it's been the characteristic of this ball club all year long.
Hauser tries to shuffle the cards by issuing a walk to Cedeno, loading the bases, and that brings up Terry Pendleton in a definite pressure situation.
I just tell myself, you have to settle down and relax and not try to go up and do too much. Just relax and see a good pitch and try to hit the ball hard.
But few are relaxing at this oh-so-critical moment. One run is in, then quickly a second, and more damagingly a third. The Cardinals take a shocking 2-run lead on a 3-run double by Pendleton.
I didn't hit the ball that hard. It wasn't a hard line drive. I hit the ball well enough to drive in 3 runs.
Modesty prevails, and so does St. Louis, the first team in 46 years to enter the 9th 2 runs down and come back to win. Following Game 2, the Royals aren't the only folks riding the rails. The World Series Express is en route to St. Louis as the series scene heads east. Partisans of both ball clubs are on board, and from the looks of things, it's hard to tell whose club is 2 games up. Passing through historic towns like Independence, Sedalia, and Jefferson City, the 11-car train arrives right on time in Old St. Louis. But for some, the highway is the road taken. I-70 to be exact, and as soon as anyone exits in St. Louis, he's bound to be swept up in a fiery sea of Cardinal red. Just before Game 3, as Cardinal Chairman August Busch Jr. presides over the Redbirds' 14th World Series appearance, and clearly glad to be home is shortstop Ozzie Smith. On the mound for the Cardinals is Joaquin Andujar, a 20-game winner by August, but struggling recently. And he's opposed by second-year sensation Brett Saberhagen, 21 years old, a 20-game winner himself, and mindful that his wife Janine is expected to give birth to the couple's first child at any moment. But the well-composed dad-to-be is all business in the bottom of the first inning, and he needs to be with cleanup man Jack Clark at bat and speedy Willie McGee on second with 1 out. An inning-ending double play that clips the Redbirds' wings and gives the Royals a chance to take control. And that pays off in the 4th, when Lonnie Smith, who started the season with St. Louis, steps up with 2 men in scoring position. 2 out, and Joaquin Andujar hoping the heat is on, his fastball. Right fielder Andy Van Slyke can't hang on, and 2 runs scamper home. Now, someone who can appreciate a knockout punch is heavyweight champ Michael Spinks, who some said was too small, just as others said Frank White wasn't big enough to bat cleanup.
When I go to the plate, people are not going to look at me and say, well, this guy's got a chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But if I got my pitch, I can hit the ball out of any ballpark.
In the 5th inning, White, the first second baseman to bat cleanup in a World Series since Jackie Robinson, belts this 2-run blast.
I was surprised by that home run. It was just a ball that I was able to get on top of and drive.
And the Royals are in the driver's seat, up 4-0 after 5. And by the end of 7, Kansas City leads 6-1. So a relaxed Brett Saberhagen can send a message to his wife that it's almost over. A message he relays to the Cardinals throughout the late innings in something of a different fashion. Hand in glove with the pitching is the Kansas City defense, and the two have kept the Cardinals in check all night long. With 2 out of the 9th, the Cardinals have managed just 1 run and 6 hits, and are about to see their 6-game postseason winning streak come to an end. Winning their first World Series contest since Game 4 in 1980, the Royals trounced the Cardinals 6-1 on Saberhagen's razor-sharp performance. Game 4, and another face-off in the Show Me series. Cardinal Red looks to the pitching star of the first game, John Tudor, who's won 15 straight decisions at home, while Royal Blue designates Bud Black, a 10-game winner in '85 who's both started and relieved in the postseason. The Cardinals enter Game 4 batting below 200, but in the second inning, Tito Landrum redefines the art of going with a pitch.
It was a good pitch on the outside part of the plate, and I got the good part of the bat on the ball. The ball hooked back toward the right field line and found its way into the stands.
An unlikely opposite field home run for Landrum, now 6 for 12 in the series and the benefactor of a 1-0 Cardinal lead. With the second fewest in the majors in '85, St. Louis has not made home run hitting its forte. But in the 3rd inning, switch-hitting Willie McGee continues this unexpected flirtation with a long ball. It's 2-0 Cardinals, and time to celebrate with an ovation for the man who will be named the National League's most valuable player. Later in the fifth, the Cardinals look for more after a one-out triple from Terry Pendleton. Up next is a good bunter, Tom Nieto, and even with a 3-2 count, Whitey Herzog wants Nieto to put one down.
He's very, very good squeeze butter. He's done an outstanding job for me this year, and he did an outstanding job at AAA on the squeeze. So I just wanted to get the third run. I didn't really think that was that big a gamble.
It must be in the cards this time as Nieto lays down a beauty, and the running Redbirds pull off a successful squeeze for the 17th time this year. Manager Dick Hauser doesn't like to see his team trail by 3, certainly not in the house of Tudor, where the Cardinal ace has been lording it over the Royals inning after inning. Yielding no runs and just 2 hits through 6 innings, Tudor has been breezing along. But with 2 out in the 7th inning, the smooth turns rough. Standing on second base is George Brett. On first is Jim Sundberg. At the plate is Steve Balboni, and Herzog is concerned about Tudor.
When he was pitching to Balboni, it looked to me like he was trying to pitch around Balboni to pitch to Biancalana. I don't know whether he forgot that they probably pinch it.
The left-hander is reminded of the possibilities, and Tudor finds them rather grim.
I think the first thing that went through my mind is I'm in a lot of trouble. I think Whitey was right. I hadn't thought about them pinch hitting for Biancalana in that situation, and I was pitching around Balboni.
Sure enough, Hal McRae, normally the designated hitter for the Royals, comes out on deck ready to pinch hit. But Tudor ends up walking Balboni anyway, and the Cardinals are really in a hole.
I didn't want McRae up in that situation against John. He had a 3-run lead. He was the winning run at the plate. Bases loaded. I know Max had awful good success against him.
There's no DH in the World Series this year, and Tudor looks in to find McRae in just his first at-bat of the series. For the Royals, an opportunity squandered as the Cardinals get the cue to wrap things up. With 2 out of the 9th, John Tudor, who threw a major league leading 10 shutouts, now finishes his first in the World Series. A 5-hit, 8-strikeout masterpiece by Tudor has put the Cardinals up 3 games to 1 and just 1 victory away from the world title. Now confident, delighted Cardinal fans are singing the praises of St. Louis. Team, town, and World Series time.
Pack your mitt, this is it. Yeah, it's a hit. St. Louis, one and all. Hear the call. Let's play ball. St. Louis, what a team. What a town, what a time, St. Louis. See, Ozzie, Vince, and Tommy, too. There isn't much that they can't do. When Count the Birds is coming through, St. Louis. So Jerry Jack and Willie McGee, million sight to see. It's the place we want to be, St. Louis. What a time, what a team, and what a town, St. Louis. What a team.
While the Cardinal fires burn red hot, the bubbly goes on ice before Game 5. Is a post-game party in the offing, or will the road beckon both teams back to Kansas City? Whitey Herzog would like to see it all end here, but his starting pitcher, Bob Forsch, is in early trouble. He's down a run in the second with 2 men on, and a .412 hitting Willie Wilson at the plate. And even though he's in a groove, Wilson outdoes his own expectations.
I wasn't trying to hit a triple. I was just trying to hit a base hit. Willie McGee was playing me a little bit over left center. The ball was in the gap, and I had 21 triples this year, so it wasn't anything new. It was just fun to just hit a triple and knock 2 guys in and pretty much help the team go on to a victory.
This isn't what the Cardinals wanted to see, down 3 runs after 2. That deficit forces St. Louis to go to the bullpen early and often, and that results in a noteworthy performance from Todd Worrell, who spent most of the year in AAA. In the 6th inning, the rookie guns down 3 straight Royals. In the 7th, that 90-mile-an-hour fastball is back for an encore. For Todd Worrell, 6 consecutive strikeouts and a page in the books as he ties a series record. With a comfortable 5-run lead in the ninth, Dick Howser is soon greatly discomforted by what happens as George Brett gives new meaning to all out. A hard landing for a Royal on unfamiliar turf.
The reason I went into the dugout, first of all, is in that area, which is the only ballpark I've ever played in, doesn't have a warning track in front of the dugout. Usually if you slide on dirt or you slide on the warning track on AstroTurf fields, and you don't slide like that. I slid and picked up speed, and it seemed like my legs just came off from underneath me and went flying to the dugout, and it happened so quick. I didn't even realize what happened until after the game. Everybody was so concerned if I was hurt or not. I didn't have an ache or a pain on me. The only thing that happened was Lee May poked me in the right eye.
It's easy to recognize greatness in any uniform. And with 2 out of the ninth and a 6-1 Royal lead, it's also clear that 23-year-old Danny Jackson has pitched brilliantly. At least for now, the Royals have called off that Cardinal victory party. And though no team in series history has lost the first 2 games at home and gone on to win, the Royals, with a victory in Game 5, will now have a chance to try. For both teams, a trip west awaits, a 250-mile journey with series destiny on the other end. And the road leads clear across Missouri, right through the heart of baseball country.
On the road again, going places that I've never been, seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. And I can't wait to get on the road again.
On the road to Kansas City, the halfway point is Columbia, home of the University of Missouri, where the joys of college life are spent in quiet study or amiable fellowship in fraternities. Here, 2 frat brothers combine both as they reprove Newtonian physics. But this October, the members of Pi Kappa Phi were faced with a problem in geography in a house divided with brother against brother.
Me and my roommate Sean got started in September. We got back from school and we were both hyped up about how great our baseball teams were. And the day they clinched, which was the 16th, I went ahead and took all Sean's Royal stuff and moved it to the right. Got some tape out, put it down the middle, so okay, that's it, that's the last I root for the Royals. Royals stuff stays on the right, Cardinal stuff on the left. And from there on, the rest of the house took up that idea, and we've been having a blast.
The handwriting's on the wall, and in this show-me state of affairs, only one person's come up with a way to make everybody happy.
When the series is over, I'm going to make a blueberry pie for one group and strawberry cheesecake for the other.
Well, at least in this house, everyone knows where he stands, on one side or the other in this Missouri version of Family Feud. Well, it's back on the road again, and on to the celebrated town of Kansas City, where everything is up to date, especially its baseball. Game 6. Royal Stadium filled to capacity once again, and it feels like the whole world is watching this battle for baseball supremacy. This is no mere Ozark Mountain squabble. This is the World Series. One skilled Cardinal strategist named Herzog matched against his Royal counterpart, Dick Howser. One strong, young pitcher named Danny Cox taking on a hard-luck but determined Charlie Lebrand. This is an evenly matched struggle, and as the duel begins, sweep-picking shortstops lead the way. As one scoreless inning follows another, the pressure builds, and there won't be any deliverance until the final out. 7 innings, the scoreboard tells the deadlocked story. But in the 8th, the Cardinals threaten. Representing the potential series-winning run is Terry Pendleton on second base with 1 out as Cesar Cedeno stands at first. And trying to ward off deja vu is Charlie Leibrandt as an ever-patient Dick Hauser watches the Cardinals make a move.
Batting for the St. Louis pitcher Cox. Number 25, Ryan Harper.
Leibrandt quickly runs the count to 1-2. Terry Pendleton roars all the way home, and the Cardinals take the lead 1-0. In a series where the runs have been few indeed, that 1-run advantage seems insurmountable. In the bottom of the 9th, the Cardinals entrust their title hopes to Todd Worrell as St. Louis stands 3 outs away from a Game 6 victory in the World Championship. Leading off the inning is a pinch hitter, George Orta. As Clark fields the ball, Worrell covers, but Orta is safe, and the Cardinals see red. Umpire Don Dinkinger's call will forever be both controversial and unchangeable. Now with Steve Balboni up, Jack Clark and the Cards find their luck still heading down.
I don't want to say it was a tough play. I think it was right there. It was a catchable ball. Didn't hit in the dugout. Hit right on the edge of the dugout on the rubber park. So, could have caught it. Then, it was 0-2, and he got a base hit and kept the inning going.
Kept it going indeed. With nobody out, the Royals have 2 men on, and Dick Hauser sends in a pinch runner for Balboni, Onyx Concepcion. Jim Sundberg bats next, trying to move the runners over, but seeing it all the way, Worrell makes a brilliant play to nail the lead runner. Now, making just his 3rd trip to the plate in the series, Hal McRae pinch hits with 1 out. A passed ball, and a costly one at that, as both runners easily move up 90 feet. Now the next move is obvious. McRae has walked intentionally, and the bases are filled. Waiting in the wings is former Cardinal Dane Orge, ready to pinch hit with the ball game on the line. One run is in to tie, and racing around from second is Sundberg. He's safe, and the Royals have done it. For the first time all year, the Cardinals have lost a 9th-inning lead. And with a clutch hit from Dane Orge, Kansas City's 9th-inning miracle has made Game 7 a reality. The Show Me series will end in a 1-game showdown. It's all come down to 1 game to decide the champions of baseball. A matchup of aces. Brett Saberhagen of the Royals and John Tudor of the Cardinals. 1 game. For the Cardinals, it's the end of a season that saw them win 101 games and overtake the Dodgers in the league championships. For the Royals, it's the close of a year of comebacks. For the division, the pennant, and now perhaps the title. 1 game. It all comes down to 1 game. At the start, neither team has made much of a dent. But in the bottom of the 2nd with 1 out, Steve Balboni's on first following a walk. Up next is Darryl Motley, 1 for 7 in the series.
Darryl Motley.
Motley hits a long drive to left that's deep enough, but heads foul. But the disappointment of the moment manages to show a crack in the door.
Out of my frustration, I banged the handle of it on the ground, and I thought I heard it crack, but it was a lot of noise in the stadium, and I wasn't sure. And I got to the plate, and I looked at it, and it had a crack in it, so I called for another bat.
Rearmed with a solid piece of wood, Motley on a 3-2 count reduplicates his stroke with 1 slight difference. Motley's home run has given Kansas City a 2-0 lead. And in a series of so few runs, a turnabout begins. A turnabout in blue as the Royals mount a ferocious assault on the pitching and the psyches of the Cardinals, leaving no doubt as to the outcome of the game. Runs, an awesome margin, especially with the soon-to-be-named most valuable player of the series, Brett Saberhagen, on the mound. The proud father of a one-day-old son needs just one more out for the biggest moment in the history of the 17-year-old Royal franchise. Darryl Motley awaits, and the Kansas City Royals are world champions. Now, alongside 6 division titles and 2 pennants, the Royals can finally wear the title crown. The I-70 series is over, and the Kansas City Royals are kings of the road and rulers of the baseball world. Celebrating a world title for the first time, Kansas City and the Royals bask in the light of an unexpected but much-deserved victory. The 1985 World Series was as unpredictable as it was exciting, and the place of this 7-game battle royale in baseball history is forever secure.